welcome back to this week's craft with Mrs. Vo. We are still working with our beautiful roving wool because we have so much of it left for making our acorn necklaces last week. And as you can see here, I kind of have my little necklaces from last week hanging out in this little felted cocoon or bowl that I just made. So it's still a little wet, but that's okay. I'd prefer it to be dry. I think I'm gonna trim it down a little bit, but it's really easy and fun to make. I made this one using one of these old plastic Easter eggs. You know, ever get one of these and it's filled with stuff? I used that for the bottom shape of the bowl because I wanted it to be really tiny. But you, of course, can use your balloon that I provided for you. If you had something else round that you wanted to use, you can use that too. But we're gonna use the balloon. Our felted wool. We also need our hot clean water and our hot soapy water. So let's begin. So I've blown up my balloon here, and now it's time for me to take the remainder of my felt and kind of piece it over to make what becomes the felt bowl. And I kind of just smush that on over, okay? Oh my goodness, I forgot one last thing that you're going to need. I have to start over. Hello friends, it's Miss Vo back with this week's craft. Last week, Hello friends, it's Miss Vo here with this week's craft. We are still working with our roving wool, which we should still have plenty of left over from our felted acorn necklaces last week. And we're going to take those to make these little felted bowls, which actually fit our acorn necklaces in perfectly for us to give to as a gift. We will be using for this craft, of course, our roving wool, our hot fresh water, our hot soapy water, the balloon that Mrs. Vo has provided for you. You can also use, I used for this particular one, I used just like this old little plastic Easter egg. You can use any kind of rounded bowl shape that you would like. And I'm using this plastic produce bag to cover my bowl so that I can make my friction. Remember that word, friction? All right, let's begin. I have my balloon all blown up and tied off. And now what I want to do is I just want to take my felt and gently layer it all over my balloon and spreading it out, okay? And the way that we spread it out is so that we can make the shape of the bowl. So we're not spreading it out over the entire balloon, we're just spreading it out over just the top, okay? Just to make that little round top part, okay? But we want it to be pretty thick, okay? Because you're making a bowl. And so you need it to be a little thick, have a little thickness to make that cocoon, okay? So let's continue to layer that. Now you can see I've kind of made this kind of big, fluffy, colorful cloud that ends right there. It's just kind of right at the top, okay? Now, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my soapy hot water, like we did before, right? And get some of that on there to start my felting process, okay? Just a little bit, because we don't want to pop our balloon. It's still warm water, okay? But we do want to get that soap in there because that is exactly what makes that friction, and we can rub it. Remember when we were doing our felted acorns? Yeah. And we were rubbing it between our hands, getting all soapy. It's the same concept. So I take it, get it nice and wet, just keep shaping it, and now I'm gonna take this plastic and place it over so I can start rubbing it in. Now Now, if you don't have any kind of plastic, you want it to be really thin. Okay, if you don't happen to have a produce bag, this is just like a produce bag that like bananas and apples come in. And this works really great. It's the perfect consistency. See, you can see it's soapy. It's starting to mash together there, and you wanna take it off and kind of shape it into the bowl, okay? This is gonna take some time, okay guys? We're just gonna do the same felting process that we did before. So I'm gonna put some more soapy water on this right over here where I can see it's a little too dry. It needs a little more help. All right. Now, it's pretty good. Just tuck it in there again. And go ahead and get that friction to make your bowl. And that's what's gonna make that lovely shape. And the great thing about using this plastic, if you don't have any, you can certainly use the bag that I provided for you if you don't have anything whatsoever. Is that it keeps it from getting too messy. Looking pretty good. Kind of like to tuck it, kind of even out those edges. I'm gonna take some of my regular hot water now. And then we're just gonna keep doing this over and over and over again until we end up with what we need. I can see where it's a little thin right around here. You can see my balloon showing, and that's where I'm going to want to kind of reinforce it with some more of my roving wool. If possible. If you're just out, that's fine too. Yours will just be a little thin. That's fine too. It'll have that character. But like I said, you can use something smaller if you wish to shape it over that. If you feel like you just don't have enough room, you're like, Ms. Vo, I don't have enough. Okay. You can certainly make anything in any size that you want, okay? There we go. Let's take some of that. There. Let's take some of this lovely blue. Touch some of that up too. And yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this for a while and I'll meet you at the end, okay? Okay, so I'm more or less done kind of getting my friction. I've gone back and forth like I do, dipping into my clean water, squeezing it back out into my soapy water, rub. I've added it so that it's pretty thick all the way around, and now this has to dry, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this to dry, and when we get together next time for our handwork help desk, this will be all dry and we'll do the big reveal, okay? Bye. See you next time, friends. Happy crafting.